Hey, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My next guest, one of my old friends, one of the funniest guys, and a good man, great comic. He's many people, but to me, he's just good old great gas. What's up, buddy?
It's good to see you, man. How are you?
Good.
I got some friends here that work in the front office for the Seahawks. I'm a huge Seahawks fan.
I know, you're a Seattle guy. What's up, guys?
I've been a Seahawks fan for over 20 years. And,
I know, because you lived in Seattle for quite a long time, right?
That's where I started my career.
Yeah.
I only lived there for 5 years, but people think I still live there because...
That's true, because the first time I met you, you were wearing a Mariners jersey.
Right.
That's why I think that.
And who wears Mariner jerseys? Like, who's
Nobody.
Crazy enough? Yeah, so...
A-Rod barely did.
Yeah, and so these guys, I got them copies of your book that I read. And that book, like every chapter should have ended with an intervention. Like every chapter was like, what the hell's going on with this guy? I thought we cleared it up in the first book.
Yeah,
you know?
where were you?
You
just turned your back.
I remember talking to you a couple times. We've had some serious conversations.
As you know, with addiction, I mean, it's the person's got to decide themselves to get ready, you know, and throw to the right receiver for a change. But I appreciate you getting the book. Thanks.
Yeah, man. A lot of people like it, and I'm just here because I can't believe my team is playing in the Super Bowl.
Well, they were there one other year, right?
Yeah.
But it was sort of a flat thing, you know.
40,
both teams played really flat that year, and it's just a different vibe. But I've been obsessive. Like the password to my email for a long time was Charlie Whitehurst is killing me. You know, it's like everything in my life.
So you're a real guy. I mean, this is your team. This is a big week. Are you going to the game?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the game.
Oh, I'll be there too. We got to hook up.
All right. Well, whichever of the 5 numbers I have for you, I'll text all of them and we'll see which one.
We'll look up at the cocoa stand.
All right.
It's going to be 2 degrees.
What do you think is going to happen?
I always go for the defense.
Yeah.
I do. I like defense. Ever since the '86 Giants, I'm a defense guy. So, but Peyton Manning, you know, I met him a couple times. He's actually nice to me. And that's all you have to be, is be nice to me, and then I'm fine. I'm your friend.
Isn't that weird? You ever had almost no respect for somebody's career, but they're nice to you, and you go, wow, I like that guy.
That's the worst thing for a comedian, is to meet up someone you make fun of a lot. And the worst thing is if they're nice, you're like, oh, God.
Yeah, the people who I do impressions of on the Stern Show, I remember Howard would tell me, watch out for that guy.
Then you have to
Don't be his friend. And he's right. Like, I did an impression of Gene Simmons, and the guy invited me to his house, and I was like, wow, look at this house. This is great.
See, but Gene Simmons is the kind of guy, he's such a businessman, he probably just loves the fact that you're making him more famous by doing it.
He's come to shows and had assistants call me and say, Gene wants to come to your show. He wants 6 tickets. He wants to be in the front row, and he has a request. He wants you to talk about him while you're on stage. And I'll be making fun of Kiss, and Gene will be in the front row going, that's me. They're always talking about me. They even, and you would love this.
That's me.
I got invited.
Like, he's got to tell, like, Gene Simmons is a guy you miss. Yeah, are you Gene Simmons? He looks like every guy you see.
You would love this story. I get invited to do stand-up on this thing called the Kiss Cruise. They do a thing where their fans come out and they get to go on a cruise with Kiss.
Literally, Gene Simmons ringing every dollar. If you can just see him with an enormous towel, like.
Well, that's interesting because there's a woman on the boat who's like the Julie McCoy of the boat. She's really peppy, and every morning she does morning announcements on the Kiss Cruise.
I hate people like that.
Yeah, and she's super cheery.
Right.
And every morning, good morning, all you rock and rollers. It's another rockin' day. And she asked me, she said, oh, you're the comedian. Oh, how much fun would it be if you did something funny with my announcements? And I said, I would love to.
Let's make them real dark.
Yeah, so the next morning, I meet her at the control room. She's getting ready to make her announcements to the entire ship. And she says, what do you want to say? You want to work on something together? We'll do a bit. And I go, I don't know. I go, just do your announcements. Right. And when you're done, say, and now there's 2 special guests that want to talk to you. And she goes, all right. So she did her announcements. Yeah. And she goes, all right. And I got 2 special guests that want to say hello. And I grabbed the mic and went, hey, guys, this is Paul Stanley. And this is Gene Simmons from Kiss. And
from Kiss.
I still say, he said that on my voicemail.
It's the best. It's the best.
He left me a voice message saying, hi, Greg, this is Gene Simmons from Kiss on my answering machine. Like, I'm going to confuse you with Gene Simmons from Pet Boy.
I'm one of the few people, I like your Paul Stanley better.
Yeah. So I do, I introduce myself as Paul and Gene, and I say, now, I have some unfortunate news. Do not panic.
but we have a problem. It seems that the ship has just hit an iceberg.
Now, keep in mind, when I say that, we're in the middle of the Bahamas when I said that.
And where we just hit an iceberg, but do not panic because Kiss is going to help you get off the ship, okay? We have three packages to get you off the ship. We have the platinum package, which is we put you in a life raft. And you have your photo taken with Kiss.
Wait, the platinum package includes a life raft.
Yeah, which is funny because
And a photo with Kiss.
I think I said there's the
diamond package where Eric and Tommy throw you in the ocean, and Kiss floats by and does a private acoustic show in the ocean.
That's ridiculous. None of it made any sense. But 2 or 3 passengers actually ran to the staff and said,
that's amazing.
Is Kiss really going to charge us to get off the boat? They took it seriously.
It's those people, really. If those people seriously were like that, they should be sent to an institution.
I agree.
I mean, if someone falls for that, they should be sent to an institution. If they're trying to like sue you in some lame lawsuit, okay, they're scammers. But if they really believe that, those people should be locked up.
Right, but here's the problem, and you know this as a comedian when you get in trouble.
Oh, believe me.
It's the fact that it's the fact that you're in trouble. It doesn't matter. People complain. It's like, but those people are stupid.
So what did Julie McCoy? I know they expect us to cater to stupid people. That's what I hate.
Right.
Like every note you get as a comic is, do this because some people might think, I'm like, well, those people are retarded. Yeah, but that's what we have to worry about.
Yeah.
You know? So what happened? Did Julie McCoy get mad?
Julie McCoy.
She burst into tears.
She just grabbed the mic and said nothing. She had no idea what to say afterwards. But I was laughing and I could see the look on her face. So I don't know. As a comic, I do this.
Oh, first of all, it's hilarious. What a great bit. The platinum package to get off the Kiss. Kiss does an acoustic show.
Yeah, and I do this throwaway thing where I go, "That was great, though, right?" Like as I'm walking out, she's got to deal with her bosses.
Do Paul Stanley again.
You know, there's it came from watching Paul Stanley. There was 2 moments. One was watching him in an interview where somebody asked him a question, and he said, "You know, the great thing about being in Kiss is it's always the greatest rock show in the world. And if you're really lucky, you'll end up with a star in your crotch." He actually said that. There's another one. Rock Against Drugs had a campaign in the 80s.
Rock Against Drugs. It closed the drug business down if that happened.
Yeah, the Sam Kinison line, the Rock Against Drugs.
Yeah.
Rock created drugs! You can't have Rock Against Drugs. That's like have Christians against Christ. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. But Rock Against Drugs, they had this party, and Paul Stanley is hanging out with all these hot chicks at this party, and Paul Stanley actually says, "You know, if you're a girl and you have an opportunity to be with me, why would you want to ruin such a bombastic moment with drugs and alcohol taking away what I'm about to give you?" I was like, man, that is awesome.
Listen, it's like don't do drugs, get herpes.
Yeah. But what's funny is there's 2 Paul Stanleys.
That's real funny.
There's a Paul Stanley in interviews.
Right.
And then there's an on-stage screaming Paul Stanley. And that's my favorite. I saw him in Las Vegas.
Well, that's everybody's favorite. Who wants to hear the guy who just low-key backstage? I mean,
it was Kiss and Aerosmith.
Oh, wow.
And Paul Stanley on stage in Las Vegas, he goes, "All right, people, now listen. You know, I know that this town is known for its buffets. And I can tell you right now that after this show, I see a lot of people in the front row that I really want to eat." And then he started tussling his hair.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I tell that to somebody who works for Kiss, and he goes, "Dude, did you hear about what happened in Omaha?" And 3 different guys that work for the band said when they were on stage in Omaha that Paul Stanley said, "All right, people, now listen. You know, I know that this state is known for its Angus beef. And I can tell you right now that after this show, I'm going to want to sink my teeth into some meat." And the entire crowd.
So everything's like an innuendo, a sexual, like, entendre.
Yeah. And everyone in the crowd apparently went, "What?" And then he realized,
"We don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about, Paul?"
And apparently he came back to the mic and went, "Wait a minute, hold on. You know, I'm talking about like a thigh "Oh, a rump roast," and the crowd went, "What?" And all the guys tuning the guitars in the back are looking at each other, going, "What the hell's he doing out there?" Like,
oh God, that's great. No, the way they're so savvy with promotion, kids. Like I about 4 months ago, I roasted, or 6 months ago now, I roasted Jack Black for the Friars.
Oh wow!
So I go, Gene Simmons at the Jack Black roast, and I'm walking down the dais. You say hi to everybody, and Gene Simmons says, "I'm not going to do a good Gene Simmons, but a picture I'm doing it as good as he can do it." He goes, Artie Lange, I see you everywhere. Way to capitalize, making a negative into a positive. You're everywhere in the media. You're just everywhere, and you're killing it. Great job. And I'm thinking to myself, like in his head, he's going, "Look, I would suggest to some people, look, stab yourself 9 times, and you can, and you will come back. You can. That's a good, in ways, going good publicity move. Yeah. Why didn't I think of stabbing myself?
Do you know, doing stuff with that band and doing impressions of that band, I've gotten more stories. Like I do an Al Pacino impression. Everybody knows Al Pacino comes out and tells me stories. The funniest stories I've ever heard were because of the impressions I do of the guys from Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a guy who told me, he said, I've been touring with Kiss for like 20 years, right? I go, yeah. And he goes, all right, I got a great story for you. A few years ago, Gene actually banged Miss America while we were on tour. Yeah. And here's the crazy thing. It was the reigning Miss America of that year.
Good for him.
And then
still killing it.
And then the next night, Gene banged a whore. A girl that even the guys in the road crew were
What's
going.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So in other words, he banged the current Miss America and the one from 10 years ago.
Right.
That's what they become.
Miss America. The next night, he's with a whore that is such a mess that even the guys in the road crew go, Jesus, did you see that girl? The next night, they're in a town. They have a day off, and they're in a town that's so small that the band and the crew have to stay in the same hotel.
Right.
So the guy's telling me from his point of view, he goes, I'm sitting at the bar. And I happen to turn around as Gene is walking through the lobby, and he's dragging this enormous girl with him through the lobby. And he gets in the elevator, looks at me, pushes the button to his floor, and as the doors close, he folds his arms and goes, oh, yeah. And then the door closes. He says the next day at sound check, he goes up to Gene, and he goes, Gene, hey, did you have sex with that girl last night? And Gene goes, of course. And he goes, Gene, didn't you have sex with Miss America that night? He goes, Steve,
listen to me, okay? You can't have filet mignon every night, okay? Sometimes you got to go to McDonald's.
Is that the worst story you've ever heard?
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
it makes you mad and happy all at the same time. Well, I must say, you don't mind me saying that. You're one of the greatest heterosexuals of all time, because I've been on the road with Gas, and there are some broads on his list where you're like, what? Like I immediately wanted to take you to get a blood test.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Now, you're a good man. You're a good man. This is a real man. Well, do we got to take a break? Yeah, we should break. When we come back, I understand some of your friends have some analysis on the game.
Yeah, there's some. You got some all-stars that are coming in to break down the game on Sunday.
You just reminded me of the Kinnison thing. I just saw his special where he tells that story. And this is the greatest thing for a younger comedian. If a negative happens in your life, like breaking up with a broad, turn it into a positive. That routine he does where he breaks up with the chick and she hides the gun to get back at him.
Oh, yeah.
He hides a gun in his suitcase that he doesn't know about, and he gets caught.
He has a line.
And he's yelling, he goes, what I didn't know was she wasn't done with me yet.
Yeah, there's a line that he has about relationships. He says, are you kidding me? There's times I was in a parked car at a red light, and I wanted to run out in the middle of the intersection and go, I hate you! Oh!
That's great. All right, back after this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.